In 1551, two Jesuits came to Rome from Portugal. One was an old friend and early companion of Ignatius, Amau Rodriguez, and he was accompanied by Antonio Brandão, who had some responsibilities in the province, and he left a series of questions for Ignatius to answer, questions that dealt a lot with how the scholastics should pursue the religious and spiritual part of their lives. And in the answers that Ignatius proposed, we get a good glimpse of what Ignatius thought about what studies should be like. But we also get an idea of one of the most important concepts that we've come to embrace from Ignatian spirituality, which is the finding of God in all things, or as this letter puts it, to find the presence of our Lord in all things. And I want to talk about that for a little bit, because the question came up is, how much should those scholastics pray? How much time should they spend in actual kind of silent meditation and prayer, mental prayer? And Ignatius, of course, knew that they were supposed to be engaged in studies, and so he really wanted to limit the amount of time that they would spend in mental prayer. But in a way to replace that, what he tells them to do is very interesting, is they should exercise themselves, or they should practice the looking for the presence of God in all things, such as in speaking to someone, in walking, in looking around, in tasting, in hearing, in understanding, in everything that we would do. The truth is that the presence of God, the essence of God, and the power of God is in all things. And so for Ignatius, what was really important was that as one went through one's day, instead of just during the time of mental prayer, but as one went through one's day, that one was finding God in the world around one, in all the different activities that one was engaged in, and how the world was coming towards one. That the presence of God was very, very much there. What a beautiful concept for us. And you know, here at the retreat house, it's not that hard to do, you know, because we're surrounded by so much that's beautiful, and the views are wonderful. But wherever we are, there is the presence of God. I remember being on Skid Row, working there, you know, many years ago, and finding in that place a certain beauty, because the presence of God was so real in the service that so many people were doing to the homeless, and in their suffering, the presence of God was there, and how easy it was in a way to sense God was there in a place where a lot of people would have had difficulty, but I was surrounded by such good people. It helped me to do that. And so that's our challenge, and our joy is to find God's presence wherever we are, because God is truly present wherever we are. And that's the wisdom of St. Ignatius for today.